Okay. Okay, we are live. I'm gonna open PowerPoint. And let me first do this. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, starting now. Okay, starting now. Good morning, everyone. My name is Nath Prabhu, and today I'll be presenting my research titled Global and Local Perspectives on Contraceptive Use Among Young Adults, a campus survey on emergency contraceptive vending machines. This slide focuses on the objectives and context of my study, which examines attitudes and awareness of emergency contraceptive vending machines among students on our campus. First, the literature review talks about relationship statuses, demographic influences, sex education, and cultural and behavioral patterns. These factors provide a comprehensive understanding of how young adults perceive and use contraceptives. One key focus is the dynamics of relationships and contraceptive use. Research has shown that increased trust and commitment in relationships may lead to reduced contraceptive use or the abandonment of dual method use, such as combining condoms and hormonal contraception. Demographic factors also play a role. Age, education, wealth, and whether someone lives in a rural or urban setting significantly influences contraceptive knowledge and usage patterns. Sex education is another critical factor. Studies indicate that greater sex education correlates with increased contraceptive knowledge and use among university students. Finally, cultural and behavioral patterns cannot be overlooked. Norms shaped by culture and religion, along with the availability of free or affordable contraceptive options, have a significant impact on usage rates. Regardless of accessibility, cultural beliefs may supersede the decisions of individuals to use contraceptives. By exploring these interconnected factors, my research aims to shed light on how these global findings resonate within our campus community. This slide highlights the importance of contraceptives and the various reasons why this topic is so crucial, particularly for young adults. First, contraceptives play a significant role in preventing unintended pregnancies. This not only impacts individuals' personal lives, but also has broader societal implications in terms of education, career opportunities, and financial stability. Additionally, contraceptive use helps reduce the spread of sexually transmitted infections or STIs. By enabling safer sexual practices, contraceptives contribute to public health efforts to control these infections. Accessibility and equity are critical aspects of this discussion. Ensuring that all individuals, regardless of income or background, can access contraceptives is essential to creating a more equitable society. Cultural and religious influences also shape attitudes toward contraceptive use. These influences can either encourage or discourage usage depending on the context, making it important to address these factors respectfully and inclusively. Young adults' behaviors and beliefs are another key focus. This demographic is often navigating relationships, independence, and new responsibilities, which makes understanding their contraceptive needs and preferences even more important. Educational gaps also remain a significant barrier. Many young people lack adequate knowledge about contraceptive options, proper use, and their broader health implications. Finally, by addressing these challenges, we can help reduce health disparities. Contraceptives have the potential to level the playing field by providing everyone with the tools to make informed decisions about their reproductive health. The primary focus is on college students, late adolescents, and young adults. This demographic is at a key transition point in their lives, making them particularly relevant for this study on contraceptive use. The data includes perspectives from both developed and developing nations. In developed nations such as the United States, the availability and use of contraceptives are generally higher, but there are still significant disparities. In developed nations such as the United States, the availability and use of contraceptives are generally higher, but there are still significant disparities in access and knowledge, especially among young adults. In contrast, data from developing nations, including India and Ethiopia, highlights different challenges related to contraceptive use, such as cultural norms, education, and accessibility. These countries offer insights into how contraceptive use is influenced by socioeconomic and cultural factors, which may differ significantly from the developed world. The data comes from a combination of surveys and interviews, which helps provide both quantitative and qualitative insights into attitudes and beliefs. The data comes from a combination of surveys and interviews, which helps. The data comes from a combination of surveys and interviews, which helps provide both quantitative and qualitative insights into attitudes and behaviors. These surveys and interviews collectively sample thousands of individuals, ensuring that the findings are robust and representative of the diverse experiences of young adults across different global contexts. This paragraph provides further insights into the contraceptive methods used by medical school graduates, showing that while oral contraceptives, condoms, and hormonal IUDs were the most popular choices, other methods such as contraceptive other methods such as the contraceptive ring, withdrawal, fertility awareness, non-hormonal IUDs, diaphragm, contraceptive patch, arm implant, spermicide, and contraceptive injection were significantly less common. Interestingly, withdrawal and the contraceptive ring were used by about 35% of medical school graduates, which is notably lower than the more widely used methods like oral contraceptives and condoms. This data suggests that while these methods are still in practice, they are as this data suggests that while these methods are still in practice, they are not as prevalent among medical graduates, potentially due to factors like lower effectiveness or greater familiarity with more reliable options. This pattern shows us the influence of education and access on contraceptive choices, as those with a medical background may be more likely to use This pattern shows us the influence of education and access on contraceptive choices, as those with a medical background may be more likely to choose methods with proven efficacy and ease of use. This bar graph highlights the primary sources of contraceptive information for Ethiopian college students. The data reveals health the data reveals that television, health providers, and school teachers were the most common sources of information, with each of these categories showing significantly higher usage among students. This suggests that these formal channels are key in providing reliable and accessible contraceptive education. In contrast, less traditional sources like friends, social media, radio, family, and magazines were much less common for learning about contraceptive methods. These findings emphasize the importance of structured professional sources of education, especially in regions where access to healthcare and educational materials may be limited. It also highlights the significant role that schools and healthcare providers can play in shaping young adults' knowledge and attitudes about contraceptives. Looking ahead, there are several steps we can take to improve the depth and scope of this analysis. First, expanding data collection is crucial. By incorporating surveys and focus groups, we can gain a more comprehensive understanding of attitudes and behaviors surrounding contraceptive use. This will allow us to capture qualitative insights that numbers alone might not provide. Second, a comparative analysis should be conducted, comparing data from different regions and institutions. This will help us understand how context influences contraceptive use and attitudes, and how our findings from a single campus might align or differ from broader trends. Next, integrating behavioral insights is key. We should examine factors like perceived stigma, peer influence, and trust in healthcare individuals feel. Next, integrating behavioral insights is key. We should examine factors like perceived stigma, peer influence, and trust in healthcare providers. These variables can significantly impact whether individuals feel comfortable using contraceptive methods, particularly emergency contraceptives. Additionally, assessing accessibility barriers is essential. We must evaluate the physical, financial, and informational barriers that might hinder access to contraceptives. Understanding these obstacles can help us develop more targeted interventions to improve availability. Cultural and religious perspectives also play an important role, and we should explore how these factors shape contraceptive use. Identifying what narratives make individuals more or less likely to use contraceptives could help inform better education and outreach strategies. Finally, policy and education assessment is critical. We should review existing policies related to contraceptive access and evaluate their effectiveness, measuring key outcomes such as unintended pregnancy and sexually transmitted infection rates, as well as user satisfaction with emergency contraceptive vending machines. Can help us engage can help us gauge the success of interventions and inform future policy decisions. As I move forward with this project, here are the key steps I will take next to build upon the analysis. First, I will analyze the survey data in depth, focusing on the demographic and status of the individuals, as well as their usage frequency and patterns. This will help identify trends and differences based on characteristics like year of study, domestic versus international status, and student type. This will help identify trends and differences based on characteristics like year of study, domestic versus international status, and university affiliation. University affiliation like student, faculty, and staff, alumni, and community members were used as screening questions in our survey. Next, I will evaluate the location and accessibility of the vending machines. Understanding how convenient the vending machine locations are for students will be essential in determining if placement is a barrier to use. I will also address privacy concerns, a major consideration for students when it comes to emergency contraceptives is the sense of privacy. I plan to explore whether the privacy of using these machines is satisfactory and identify any improvements that could be made. Affordability feedback is another area I will focus on. Given the concerns about the affordability of the $5 price point for Plan B, we'll assess how students feel. We will assess how students feel about the cost and whether there is a significant barrier to usage due to price. Expanding the product offerings is also important. Based on the survey feedback, I will explore what additional health-related products students would like to see in the vending machines, ensuring we will meet the diverse needs of the campus population. Finally, I will assess the effectiveness of awareness campaigns, how students learn about the availability of contraceptive products on campus will inform future campaign strategies and outreach efforts. Based on this analysis, I will take action steps to improve access and awareness. Tailor awareness campaigns to better communicate the availability of emergency contraceptives, particularly through effective channels such as social media, posters, and campus-wide emails. Enhance accessibility by evaluating and potentially relocating vending machines to more convenient locations around campus. Address privacy concerns by ensuring that the vending machines are placed in discrete, easily accessible areas where students feel comfortable using them. One plausible addition would be the addition of black privacy curtains. Expand the product range based on survey responses, offering additional contraceptive options or related health products that students want. Finally, student health services will continue monitoring and adapting by gathering data from new cohorts each semester. This will ensure that we stay responsive to the changing needs and preferences of the student body. While the survey provides valuable insights, it's important to acknowledge the limitations of the data collected. First, there is a risk of sampling bias. The survey may not fully represent the diverse perspectives of the entire student body, as the sample size could be skewed towards certain demographics or groups who were more likely to participate. Second, self-selection bias is a concern. Those who choose to respond to the survey may have stronger opinions, which could potentially skew the results and not reflect the general attitudes of the population. Third, the survey has limited context. It does not capture the full complexity of nuanced opinions or specific situational factors that may influence students' behaviors and attitudes. Additionally, there is the possibility of question misinterpretation. Some respondents may not fully understand the questions, which could lead to inaccuracies in their responses. Also, response reliability is another challenge. Participants may give socially desirable answers or fail to provide fully truthful responses due to the sensitive nature of the topic. Non-usage data gaps are also a limitation. The survey may not capture the experiences or barriers faced by the individuals who do not currently use the vending machines or the products offered, leaving gaps in understanding. Product awareness is another factor. Some respondents may not be fully aware of the current offerings in the vending machines, which could affect their feedback on potential improvements. Finally, external factors such as stigma or a lack of trust in the quality of the products may remain unaddressed in the survey. These underlying issues could influence usage rates and perceptions, but they are not fully captured in the data. Acknowledging these limitations is these underlying issues could influence usage rates and perceptions, and they may not be fully captured in the data. Acknowledging these limitations is crucial for interpreting the results and planning next steps that address these gaps in understanding. And these are the sources. And these are a bunch of other products pictured that could be displayed in the vending machines for distribution purposes to students. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.